Hi, and welcome to Sixcess Stories. We are your hosts, Christina Gent.
And Eric Ozarowski.
And this is where we get to share real conversations with the 6 Degrees community all about life, leadership, and the power of meaningful connections. Corryn Kivett is back for round 2, where we get to learn even more about her coaching style of NLP. She's an inspiration who's totally down to earth and is all about the humanness of business. She's also got a pretty awesome space, Evolution Room, in Kearney Mesa that is a great spot for all kinds of events.
In this conversation with Corryn, we talk about her really big breakthrough that she had since the last time we were here together in this room, related to being more authentic, more of herself, finding her voice, and trusting her own way to do things. We spent a lot of time talking about marketing, some of the marketing principles that she's working on, that you're working on, and also just talking about growth and how the three of us have just been on a really similar trajectory and learning cycle of finding ways to improve, and some fun conversations around some of the merch ideas and concepts that she has.
When I talk about Corryn being inspiring, I personally can speak for myself and just seeing these breakthrough moments and just watching her and what the growth that you just mentioned as well. So it was fun to sit down with her and ask a little bit more about that, hear about the breakthrough moments, and have some aha moments even in the conversation itself. So please enjoy this episode of Sixcess Stories. Well, as a place to start for a check-in, what's a win from this week so far? What's a positive?
I feel like there was lots of positives. I had personal really big breakthrough from this weekend. Sent out some swag to someone.
Yeah.
So
Love
it was
the
really
swag.
exciting.
Yeah, I
Thank
love
you.
it.
Thank you. Still figuring it all out and just doing it at the same time.
Sure.
I
have questions.
Go for it.
We'll get into that.
Oh, okay. And what else? I have a really good ideal client opportunity, and I say opportunity because we're still developing a relationship. However, it really seems like he just gets what we're about, and we just see, like those people that you just click with automatically. So that's really exciting, really cool. I'm feeling out attracting ideal people who get the mission, that get what we're about. This isn't just another training. Like, they really want to learn human behavior so I can be a stronger leader, so that way I can be stronger in sales, stronger for my family or my kids, right? Like those types of conversations, having more of those than I want to make more money, which, yeah, we want to grow our businesses and make more money. However, it's more of the impact that we're making, which is exciting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
A win that's top of mind is we had a dinner last night.
Oh, nice. Where'd you go?
Downtown at Cali.
Oh, I've never been.
Have you been?
It's so good. It's Mediterranean. It's amazing. It's
probably for sure top 3 restaurants for us here in San Diego.
Yeah.
And they just do it.
You guys do the best dinners. They're so good.
They are so good.
Yeah. So that, it was, we had a handful of people. It was either their first time or had first time at a SAVOR dinner or first time at that restaurant, and it blew people's minds. So it was a really big win.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'd love to ask, what is your favorite? You had to pick one favorite of the dinners. What is your favorite about doing the dinners?
Our favorite thing about it?
Yeah, just like your favorite thing. What do you love about them? And I know one thing's probably hard.
I have just seen time and time again this energy that is produced around that table because of, I think, perfected is hard because there's always room for improvement, but we have gotten so freaking good at figuring out the number of people, the way that the table is set up. Even just Eric and I are very particular about being on the ends of and having it capped, just because of the difference that makes versus having 6 on 6 on each side. We're so detail oriented about it that because of that, it's electric, and it's so cool to feel that energy every single time. And people walk away. It's one of the reasons why the Recreate Wow experience is a value of ours, and it's felt in those dinners. And it's all those details that all just come together and create the perfect storm for people to be amazed.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
That's so cool. It's also really cool that you can experience the difference between you two being on the ends, and make note of that, right?
It's so different.
It's so different?
It's so different. Well, so even, I mean, you came to one, and we had a
private chef.
Oh. We do the
all the
gluten-free,
gluten-free, dairy-free. Thank you.
Appreciate
it.
But there's like the table size matters. So like there's certain tables that are bigger, and then when there's more space between you and me on the other ends, like that feels different. And so like there's so many little variables that it can still work, but to think through it is to like, and at this point I think we know like the optimal, here's what works the best. And it's just a matter of understanding the restaurant layout. Have we been here before to execute it? That was our 4th time at Cali, and then we left, and like there was like 6 things that were like it was amazing. You ask anyone that went, it was unbelievable, and we were like, this and this could have made it even better.
Well, yeah, it's always the being the host, right? Where you have a different perspective.
Well, but like it wasn't even like fixing things. It was just more of some streamlining some stuff and tightening a few things and working with the restaurant a little bit closer to make sure expectations are set. And it all, we were talking last night, it was just communication. It's all communication.
Down.
All of it is.
It's all communication.
Always.
Communication.
Every time.
It's so funny how even as 3 of us who I feel are constantly working on being better communicators, and it's top of mind, and it's still, there's just moments where it's like, damn, how did I not get that right? It's like, I know this shit.
Yes.
Welcome to being human. I think my answer to your question of just like what's the best part, I would say it's when we intentionally don't really set like an end to it and people stay. And so to me, that just says I'm having a good time. I don't want to leave. And I think that's always a signal to me that like the people are missing and kind of craving the connection piece. So there's something, like to Christina's point, there's this energy that happens, and there's something that I feel while I'm at the dinner that makes me want to be there as long as possible.
That's so cool.
So,
That's really cool.
And I think even just something that Eric mentions at the top of each dinner is just like, this only happens once with this group of people in this space, right? This group of people, even if we came back tomorrow, same exact group, it would be different, right? So this moment happens right now, and to be present and to be here, and that's really cool. And it happens all the time too, that people are genuinely like so present in being at that dinner versus getting distracted and pulling out phones. And
time's really weird in that room. It's a weird, I don't know how to explain it. It goes by really fast, but also very slow.
It's like a warp.
It is. It does feel like a warp a little bit.
Yeah, kind of like in here.
Yeah.
Let's see. So the win that I will share from this week is, so we've had an uptick in inbound applications for 6 Degrees, which has been really freaking cool. I honestly chalk that up to having a bigger presence on LinkedIn, at least for my personal account, which is, it's wild to see just what's been coming in. And then more specifically, an application that we received that Eric and I both read it and thought, holy shit, this person, I mean, kind of what you just described of the click and knowing, wow, this is amazing, right? Obviously, there's still the interview process and talking to this human, and just by what we were able to get and the values alignment piece, and even including their company values in the application for us to be able to see just how well it aligns and overlaps with 6 Degrees. And it's the second time now that someone has submitted an application because they went to our website, saw values, and said, no one else is doing this, and this is why I want to be part of it. And that to me is, holy shit, that's amazing.
That's huge.
Yeah. Like that's so literally great. What we've been preaching since the beginning. And so for now that to be coming inbound is like, okay, hell yeah. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
It's been a fun a fun shift. Because like even what Christina just said about the application that came in is like one of the very last part is like anything else we should know, and they were like, these are my values and here's how they align.
That's rad.
Which is
that's really cool.
Right. So unprompted,
solicited.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite part of the dinners that you've been to?
The dinners. The first thing that came up was not knowing how it was gonna go.
You enjoyed that part of it?
Yeah. Like there was something. Well, first and foremost, when you send the invitation, right? It's like, oh, what am I going to? Right? Like,
I received mail, snail mail. Whoa, what is that?
Right. Actually, mail that I want. Wow, surprising. So I think that component, and then the not knowing who's going to be there, just the excitement around, I guess, what's possible from the conversations, and not knowing and not picking where you're seated, right? And also sitting there and having an amazing conversation with someone that you may not have had if I would have chosen a seat, right? So, and I think you can tell that with everyone being so present, it's a feeling of relief, or like a feeling of just, I'm here. Like, it just feels really in the moment, fun, exciting, also down to earth at the same time.
Yeah, the casualness. There's so many dinner parties, and like when we first started doing this, like I don't want it to be pretentious and bougie, and that's kind of tight window. To
I'm like, don't get me wrong, I like a good meal.
It
doesn't need to be bougie, and can I still be casual?
Right.
Can we
and feeding, making sure people are leaving full, and there's so many amazing restaurants, amazing food experiences that it's like, what did I just pay for what? And it's like a little drop of something, right? So there's that balance. So with what you just said, I'm curious. We used to not give away the location at all. We would say we're going to this area, and we wouldn't tell people exactly like where would you have enjoyed that part of it more.
Well, I think that was the second one that I went to, because it was someone's home. So I didn't.
Okay, you got that a little bit, because we didn't give exactly. It was a private residence, is what we said.
Right. So this is like, I'm going to private residence. Like, where am I?
We used to do it with all restaurants, and so like when you signed up, it would be like, all right, we're going to Kearney Mesa, and then when you got the invite, it would say, this is where we're going in Kearney Mesa.
I like that. I like that component.
Yeah. We ended up. We were like, are we just like making it this harder on ourselves? Because we thought, and I actually don't know the data on it. We thought, if people knew, because the places we go are pretty great, and if people knew, we're going to Cali, I've been wanting to go to Cali, does that encourage people to sign up more further out in advance rather than like trusting us? And I don't know that that's actually been the case entirely, because some places we find and people don't know them.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
But that was the reason we started sharing that. I was like, maybe we can get further out ahead and not be scrambling to fill like the last couple seats.
Yeah.
And I will say that the one we did at Ember and Rye up at Aviara, there were a couple people who signed up for it specifically because it was on their list of places they had been meaning to try. They didn't even live anywhere near there, and it was a drive for them to go. So if we had just said it's going to be in Carlsbad, does that person sign up for it, or do they not. Right? And so we've definitely had the both positive and negative from both situations, what we used to do and then what it's turned into.
I always like the fun of a secret location.
Me too. Do you ever get restaurants from your members? Do you ever ask?
Yeah. All the time.
Like,
I mean,
people
recommend them to, like Bougie Mana. We've been to Bougie Mana. That came from one of our members.
Well, I'm just thinking it could be really cool if you had like a data of just places that your members want to go to and haven't gone to, and you know which one. And so when you pick one, don't necessarily disclose the location, but maybe send them an invite that says, hey, we're going somewhere that you really want to go to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not going to name any names, but
that would actually
that'd be interesting.
That would be a good. There's some stuff that we're trying to get better at data collecting, but that would be a good, like, what are your top 4, 5, 6 restaurants just for everyone in 6 degrees?
It's so funny because it would be so hard for me to answer that.
Yeah,
that's also why I like your dinners, because it's not something that is not a high on my list thing, at least not right now. So going is a very different experience for me altogether.
Yeah.
Not
Like,
only is it an amazing experience, it's very different for me because I'm
As in, you're not
not a big foodie.
You're
I
not
don't go out
into-
a lot.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I am a cat
and
person
I
that reads
appreciate
books.
that. And I appreciate that though, because so many people are like, we have a bunch of members that haven't been to a dinner, and it's, oh, I'm not a foodie. It's not really my thing. It's like, it's not about the food.
That's
Like,
what clicked for me. I think after a few conversations, I was like, it really isn't about the food.
the food's
So-
just really good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
it's an
a
experience.
side part of what it is. Like,
It's part of the food. Okay, so the food is more, it assists the conversation that's going to happen, right? Because it's this amazing experience of these incredible dishes. It's an art form. So it's another way to bond with the people I'm having dinner with, to be like, wow, I cannot believe that I'm trying this thing that I typically don't eat or don't like, or can you believe that this chicken that I'm ordering at a restaurant, it tastes amazing, right? Like that's part of like one of Callie's thing is like, they don't sleep on their chicken. It's insane. It's so good. And people are like, really? The chicken? Like I'm ordering chicken at a
Chicken?
restaurant. Like, what do you mean? Right. And
Get the chicken.
it's phenomenal. Right. And so being able to share those moments and those conversations, that's where the food comes into play in the bonding part of it. Right. And then it's obviously amazing on my taste buds. Don't hate that. Right.
Yeah.
But like, it's more about sharing an art form. And that's that's part of the magic of it.
Yeah, I love that. I like the way you worded that. Sharing an art form. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool.
Okay, so it's been, I think, really close to about a year since the first time that we had you
No.
on.
A year?
Yeah, because I think
Yeah.
your episode came out
Really?
in maybe August of last year or something close to that. I
Holy
think it was,
Shit.
yeah.
Damn.
isn't it crazy? Like, doesn't
It's
it
crazy.
feel like
That's
not that
insane.
long?
Yeah, that's really insane. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wild.
Yeah, I do feel like we just sat down with you in here not that
Yes.
long ago, and it's been
Time warp.
Well, anytime I talk to someone, I'd be like, "Oh, that was a few 6 months ago." Like I have to
You're like,
add,
"Ew."
guess not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the outsider's perspective, especially in the last, maybe even just the last 6 months, I feel like I am just seeing you freaking skyrocket right now. I mean, it's unbelievable. Like, it's the coolest thing to watch, and it's the coolest thing to be, to have our friendship, to have this relationship, and to be able to just see what's happening. And I would love to just hear, at what point in this past year, since the last time we sat down, was there just like this turning point and something just really clicked for you?
First of all, thank you.
Yeah.
It always feels good to hear. Yeah, I feel like things have been clicking consistently since, I would say since I guess a year ago, middle of 2025. So I guess that was a year ago.
Yeah.
2024 was a weird year. So 2024 was I felt like a lull, both personally, business-wise. Like it just felt things were very muddy. And then I came into 2025 with wanting to get clarity. I let go of a service that I was delivering. Like I just needed to really hone in on what I was doing, why I was doing it, how I was doing it, who I was doing it for, and getting really crystal clear on that. So a year ago, that's probably when I started all of that. I'd say since the beginning of this year, the shift that happened, and I don't know when it happened, and I do feel like it's still happening, is really finding my voice and leaning into my voice and really leaning into Evolution Room, the brand, and it being my vision and the core values that we have being mine. I feel like from 2020 to about 2023 and into 2024, like I grew the business, I did the things that you're supposed to do, and I was following what my mentor said, what my coach said, and I took all of that very literally, and I modeled my mentor more than finding my own voice and doing it my way. And that was on me. So I feel like since the beginning of 2026, it's been more of peeling back these layers of performance and more so just finding my flow and my voice and letting go of the perfectionist and just showing up and sharing more of the journey. That has been a big part. I think for a long time I had this idea that as a trainer I needed to be put together, and as a business owner I needed to be put together, and I needed to look the part and have the part, right? And now I'm just in this space of I'm fucking in it with you guys. Like, I am doing this work, and this is what it's like, and this is what I'm going through, and this is how it's working for me. And I'm also very clear that in the coaching industry, that there's a lot of, and we've all been sold this, oh, if you just go to this thing, it'll change your life. Oh, if you just go to this thing, it'll change your life. And you hear that for years. It starts to create this like, oh, they have the answer. They have the answer. They have the answer. And even over this past weekend, I had to tell the group in the class that, yes, this is a science. Yes, these are tools. Yes, they will change your life. And you have to be willing to use them. You have to be willing to dig in and look at yourself in the mirror. That's how you change your life.
Yeah.
If you are checking off a box to say that you went to this course, I literally said you guys can leave. And I think me getting very clear on that and getting very clear on what we stand for and what we don't stand for has been the biggest shift. Because I also realize that not everyone wants to roll up their sleeves and get dirty.
Right.
And
a lot of people don't.
Yeah, a lot of people don't, and that's okay.
And
That is okay.
we've had conversations, and it's similar with the leadership lab stuff that we've done, the work that we've done with Rudy, and we've talked about, like, do we do a certification thing to it? And a lot of people just want the piece of paper. They just want the diploma. They just want the thing that says I completed the thing. And there's value to having a process to complete something and become certified, but so much of it is just kind of a BS. I checked the box, I read the book, gave for me, and I'm just, oh, the answer's over there. The next answer's over there, to your point.
Yeah. I think it's frustrating, and I do also think that the coaching industry is going to shift and it's going to change because all of us are waking up. Like, the cookie cutter stuff doesn't work. Like, I also got very clear that my mission and I'm here for a few things, to help good people win, like, first and foremost. Like, when that occurred to me, I was like, that's why I do what I do, to help good people win. And then I'm a firm believer that business is human, and these cookie cutter stuff that people are selling for tens and thousands of dollars, which is amazing. And my mentor always says, cookie cutters belong in the kitchen. They don't belong in coaching, right? So when someone comes to the leadership lab, yes, there is a curriculum that Rudy and you all are following. However, it is dynamic. It is meeting people where they're at. It is in the room.
Yeah.
And there isn't a lot of that out there. There's not even a lot of one-on-one coaches anymore. It's I want to scale this, so let me do a DIY thing to scale it.
Right.
And then people buy the course and do it for 5 minutes and then forget about it.
Right.
And I respect it because, yeah, you're building a business. However, for someone that stands on transformation and evolution, like, we're going to roll up our sleeves and we're digging in.
Yeah.
And not everyone wants to do that.
I love that that's been, what would you say, what changed?
Me doing my work more intentionally. Like, really, really digging into me. And it's like I was still doing my work, but not as much as I am now. I've set a very high goal for myself, and, like, I'm going to hit it, and I'm pulling out everything that I have to make it happen.
Would you say, like, living and breathing it more than just performing or practicing it when I'm around other people, like having it, or maybe not in front of other people, but just more consistency? Is that?
Yeah, there was almost this I needed to have it all it needed to look like everything was put together.
Sure.
Right? And I think with that, my focus was more so on the business than it was me. So with shifting from, I do still focus on the business. However, since beginning of 2026, it has been more me than the business. I really feel like that's what's created the shift. And just since doing that, I can even notice, like, being more responsive to things rather than reactive, having hard conversations and actually being calm or neutral or just present.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, it feels good. And I still feel like this past weekend I had a breakthrough for sure. And it gets exciting.
Yeah.
It gets really exciting. I tell people all the time, it really is like seeing the Matrix. I mean, every time we have a breakthrough, you know, it's like, whoa, I'm seeing reality a little different now, you know? And I think also being truthful with the fact that, and I told the class this, like, I am not a master in this. I'm not. I don't know if I'll ever be a master in it.
Yeah.
And taking off the mask that I had to be a master in it was like the first thing.
Yeah.
And it's like nobody told me that I had to put that mask on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like nobody said that. However, I had put that pressure on me.
Sure.
And it's funny, I was talking to my coach before this, and I can see where that comes from, and I can see where that stemmed from. And now being in the space of, I can put that off to the side. I know this shit really well.
Mm-hmm.
And there are still things that I'm learning.
I think there's a big difference between being an expert and thinking I'm the expert.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of them, I'm stop learning, and I just go, no, I know it all come to me.
I really like the distinction that you made between the expert and a expert.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what it was. That's what the breakthrough was.
Yeah.
Pretending or having the pressure of, I need to be the expert.
Yeah. There's a huge difference between,
Mm-hmm.
it's a subtle, it's just a word, but there's such a big difference in that. As a reader, have you read the book Mastery?
No, funny enough, I haven't.
Heard of it?
Yes.
It's on your list?
I have someone in book club keeps bringing it up. So I'm like, I definitely should read it.
It's a little,
Oh, is it?
it's like 150 pages, 130
Okay.
pages. It's a quick read, and I've read it a couple times, but yeah, there's so much, it's martial arts, right? The martial arts philosophy of mastery, right? Where it's like, once I get the black belt, that's when I start. Right. And there's so much to that.
That's good.
Yeah.
I do like that a lot.
That's when I start learning.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
But yeah, you would like if that was the big breakthrough, the big shift, this would be a really good time.
Okay.
Because it's all about just doing. I'm chopping wood. I'm just chopping wood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's levels to all of it.
There's so many levels and layers. So yeah, I don't know. It wasn't one thing, as it never is. And yeah, it's all a journey.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the main thing was focusing back on me, not just the business.
And that's such a strong message, because
Mm-hmm.
I think many of us, we get so tied into the business side of it. And for me personally, it's been inspiring to watch you over these last few months and really sharing so much of that journey with your audience, right? I'm seeing it on social media, and I'm really getting to see, I almost feel like a little bit of a peek behind the curtain. It's like your voice is coming through so much more than posts from last year, right? Like I definitely feel that. And then I know that you and I both follow Low Silver. And I'm obsessed.
Obsessed.
I'm obsessed. And
Bikini Bali.
yeah,
like 20K.
Just, I mean,
one call.
I'm like, what
Goals.
is this person? This is amazing. Yeah, and she is somebody who also exudes, this is exactly who I am, and I'm going to lean into that. And the people who are going to fit for my type of coaching style are going to find me because of it. And it has been inspiring me. And I think, Eric, you've mentioned that you've been seeing it in me over these last few months as well, of there are things that are clicking. And I almost feel like it could be that I'm where maybe you were a year ago right
Mm-hmm.
now, where it's like, ooh, it's starting,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I definitely feel like, ooh, this is starting. There has been a spark, and the fire is, I don't know at what stage it's at now, but it's
There's a flame.
there's
kindling,
warmth. Yeah, there's
there's
a
some warmth.
kindling, and I'm only just leaning into it more and more and more, and it feels so much better. As much as the business might be the up and down, and we're like, what the fuck are we, where are we at and what's happening? I keep feeling so much stronger because of leaning into me and not, I think for Eric and I, there was this fear for a while of we are the brand and we need 6 Degrees to be its own brand. We need it to live outside of Eric and Christina. Instead of building it from, no, this is who we are, and let's build up the brand in 6 Degrees. And then as we continue to grow and grow the team and grow the community, and because people who are part of it are living, breathing the purpose and the values, that is how the brand of 6 Degrees ends up outgrowing the individual of the person. And so that to me has been, oh, okay, we were trying to lean away from it so much when it's actually leaning into it more, especially right now.
I think something that came up for me in your sharing is I think that we're very similar in our mission, but two, also like our vision with our companies and like creating something that's bigger than you, while it's also you at the same time and being in the middle of that.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, it's an interesting place to be. And I think back in 2020, looking back, 24 and 25, I was making it about me unconsciously.
Okay.
Whereas rest of 2025 into 2026, it's really about like, who am I here to help and how can this really help people? Not so much about what numbers do I need to hit, right? Am I hitting the numbers? Am I hitting the metrics? Business focused, right? Sometimes I'll talk to people in sales and I'm like, if you are a giver, if you are someone who is a natural connector and you are an others focused person, yet you are focusing on the numbers and the numbers that you're hitting, you're actually unintentionally making sales about you, which is actually incongruent for you because you're an others person. So I think I went from focusing on me, the numbers that I was hitting, how I was growing the business, into how am I really making a difference? And really just focusing on how am I truly making a difference, regardless of how many people, how many butts in seats there are, or what it is that I'm doing, right? Just showing up more present, more honest, and being of service or being a contribution in whatever way I can.
Yeah, I think that might be still one of the biggest struggles that I continue to work through is being too attached to outcome. And really, when I meet someone that like I'm getting excited about that person and needing to detach and be able to, from what you just said of this is coming purely from a place of how do I support the other person in this and have it be nothing to do with my excitement of like, oh my God, I'd get to be around this person and they're so great and I would, they're so inspiring and I can see how that's going to support not just them, but also the people that are a part of 6 Degrees that they would be around. And I would love that. That'd be so cool. And needing to completely go like, no, like in what ways are we solving problems? Because that's the only way to resonate with them and their needs and their emotion.
Yeah, that was the trigger that I had this weekend.
Really?
Say more.
Well, I discovered that my number one core value was triggered. So my number one core value is integrity and the pillars that I stand on in transformation and evolution. And so when my projection, my perception, and I told the class this, when I felt like they are showing up to check off a box, they're showing up late, they're not, that to me, I felt like my number one core value was being poked at. And that's why I said, if you are just here to check off a box, like we are not for you. Because I stand on the pillars of transformation and evolution. And I told them, I said, thank you, because our triggers are our greatest opportunities and our greatest lessons. I said, I'm recognizing that I can't want it more than you guys. I have to allow you to be where you're at and allow this to be your experience as much as I want every single one of you to avoid resisting and just see what I see in you and go all in. And I have to step back and I have to allow you to be where you're at. And I wouldn't say that it's easy
It's not.
at all.
Yeah.
At all when you really care, like
Right.
a lot.
Right.
What's the can bring a horse to water, but can't make him drink it.
Yep. I'm like whipping out every tool as a coach I can. Like, come on, man. You gotta drink the water. I promise you it's okay. But and I think that there is a component of, I don't know if I ever want that to fully go away, because to me it signifies that I care.
Yeah.
And it signifies that I'm doing this for a reason, and that I genuinely care about people's growth and transformation and them evolving. And so it's an interesting place to be, right? Of like caring, but then also don't care too much, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's that humanness that you guys have as your core value.
Yeah, embracing our humanness.
I can relate to that a lot. I think the personal, but what happens for me is I just internalize it as, and I've said this in a couple settings, but it's, I'm not good enough. We're not good enough. 6 Degrees isn't good enough, and it's all my fault. That's what happens to me when I'm caring and it's not working. Or someone says, you guys are great. And I mean, the amount of times that we've had people, you guys are nothing. It's nothing against you two. Love what you're doing. Super excited for you. Hope you, wish you success. But I'm not renewing. Blah, blah, like whatever the
story is.
Yeah, whatever. And there's a lot, sometimes it's totally understandable, and they've been part of it for a while, and whatever is they've graduated. Like there's people. Did you get what you need? Cool, right? Like sometimes that's okay, right? There's still like this personal, it's like, fuck, like what could we have done different? What did we miss? What could we have done better? Where did I fuck it up? Is what happens.
I mean, even just using a real sales call that I had today, and certainly a big part of me that I know is being so tied to the outcome of that. And part of just post-call, just talking through it with Eric in my mind, because part of what I'm with following Low Silver and just trying to learn from the things that she has shared, at least just from, I mean, what she shares for free online, and being like, oh, okay. Like I was even this morning, I was awake at 6 a.m. in bed with ChatGPT, and I said, role play with me. And I was trying to go through objections. Granted, I was leaning into the objection that wasn't what this person presented. It was completely different.
Isn't that fun? So fun.
Yeah.
And all the other answers.
So fun.
And I still, I mean, so getting off of the call, I was in my head, I was like, okay, what could I have done differently? How could I have what questions could I have asked? But what you just said, Corryn, resonates as well as, well, regardless of any question I could have asked, was that person, did they even want it? Did they want it? Right? Because if the answer is no, like you said, I can't want it more than they want it. And we have different services, and at the same time, we are still focused on empowering and supporting conscious leaders and people who want to be more awake and aware. And so people have to want it, right? And there's just been so many conversations that part of the evolution that Eric and I have been going through in these past couple months has been more conversations around the sales talks and things that we're doing, and
like
the
sales conversations, sales cycles. How do we
sharpen these?
So literally like striking while the iron's hot. As much as that's a cliche, to me is probably the biggest ball that we've dropped.
Oh yeah.
In terms of like
fumbled that over and over.
Someone just signed up for something, and I'll 2 days or 3 days will go by, and it's like, no, like it's got to be the opportunity is to be as instant as, keep the energy. So it's a baby flame. We got to keep pouring gasoline.
To follow up with someone.
Not that there's like time can go by, but like it's never hotter than right now.
Yeah.
That's and just when someone's like, they're interested, or they say yes, or they fill out the form, or they call and they have questions, or they reach out to you, like all of those things is like, no, like that's the person. That's where the time and energy needs to go. That's been probably the biggest learning. And then there's some tactical just, okay, like how do we shorten the cycle of you're interested? Great. Let's simplify some of the roadblocks that we created that are valuable, but like what if we just switch the order on some things, like as simple as like
it was such a light bulb moment that we well, it was someone that is in our ecosystem that said, no, you guys are doing this in reverse, and I was like, oh.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate
it's like
that.
just change this order, and then now you're not like screwing yourself over over and over and over again. I was like, oh,
but
isn't that the definition of business ownership right there? Like,
but similar to what you were saying earlier around finding the right people and saying yes, getting them the right people on board, right? Like it's the same kind of thing. Is like, okay, you said yes, and then trusting that if this isn't for you, like I'm not trying to like rob you or try like do. It's like if this isn't for you and you want to just check boxes, like cool, like here's a refund, here's whatever. We believe in what we're doing enough to be like, let's change the order of some things and go, okay, you're committed now, and if it doesn't work, like let us know. Right? Like just it's that simple sometimes.
Yeah. And I was thinking, you guys talk about the drama triangle in Leadership Lab. Just this weekend, how in the past, stepping into like the challenger, the coach role, much easier for me. Challenger, that's the one that in the past I would get, I don't want to be too challenging, right? I don't want to be too tough. And even when I said what I said this weekend, someone was like, that really wasn't that bad. I was like, okay, good. But like needed to be said, but that is a role that it was different for me to be in that. I mean, I had the coaching assistant say, I have never seen you mad. Like I was pissed on Saturday. I was mad. They're like, I have never seen you mad before.
Because like someone showed up late.
There was multiple things all day.
Yeah.
There was multiple things. And I was like, and then there was a cherry on top. And I was like, why are we here?
Yeah.
You spent money on this, time on this. And yeah, I wrote it all out. And it's funny because like I went home and I wrote it all out because I just needed to process what was in my head. And I told Chelsea, I said, babe, heads up. I'm annoyed. I'm exhausted. Just heads up. She was like, okay, what can I do? Can I do anything? And I was like, I wrote all this out. I just need to verbalize it and like get it out of my head. And like the moment I got home, I was fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was laughing. She's like, for being annoyed, like you're laughing. I'm like, I don't know. It wasn't that big of a deal.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Just in the way that you're describing it right now is like, why are you the one that's getting upset? Tied to you, like it's, why do I care so much?
Yeah. And that's when I identified. I was like, okay, I need to identify like what this is that's triggering me. And that's when I identified that I felt like my core value is being poked at, which that's on me. That's my lesson to learn. And once I wrote everything out, you know, there was a part of me that's like, I don't need to say anything. It's fine. And I was like, no, that's past Corryn. Like it needs to be said. It really does.
Well, that's the kind versus nice conversation.
Yeah.
The nice thing to do is, no, I'm just going to keep this to myself. I'm going to figure it out and process it. And there's the way to handle and how you do it is how aware am I in the moment to be able to control and navigate that versus just like, oh, like, nope, short fuse and it fucking cuts.
Yeah. Well, even what I told them, I said, you know, a lot of people come to my training because of the tools that they're getting, right? Like the tools to be able to make more money, sales, all that stuff, which is great. And this is an experience, just like Leadership Lab. This is an experience. So if I don't share this, it's robbing a part of the experience, right? So I shared it and everyone in class loved it. They were like, you're right. Like every single one. I had some other people enroll in another class. Like,
wow. So like the immediate reaction was like,
Good. Immediately.
And they were okay.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's real.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, I mean,
it's the moose in the room.
Yeah. It's naming the hey,
moose.
3 people just showed up fucking late. What the fuck are we doing? Is this important to you? Is this how you treat your clients? Is this how you treat your family? Is this how you go about life?
Yeah, I mean, yes. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So.
And then for you, it was feeling disrespected and I won't put like words in your mouth, but like you having one of your values literally, right? I forgot who said it, but there's something specific to paying attention to the moments that I get angry, actually get angry. The opposite of that is the value.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Does that make sense to you?
I'm just going to say it again. Yes.
Yes.
Well, like the thing that pisses you off, like for me, like I hate seeing good people lose.
Yeah.
It pisses me off. And so on the other side of that is like helping good people win. Like I love that.
Yeah.
So the thing that pisses you off, like there is a layer underneath of it. Value.
Well, so the to connect the dots is like by you showing up late, you are self-sabotaging yourself. You're putting yourself in a losing position that you don't even know about. And it's fucking pissing me off.
Because I want to see good people win, and you've just fucked that up for yourself.
You are making yourself lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I even said something like that, and they were like, well, I didn't mean to. I'm like, I know you didn't, and that's why you're here, because it's unconscious. Like, but now you can see it. Like, it's just funny, man.
Well, I mean, it's the moose in the room, but it's also blind spots and pointing out that I mean, that's the gift that you gave the class, is like, this is a blind spot probably from some of you. Some of it might be conscious, some of it's unconscious, but we don't understand that the impact of some of the actions that we do or don't take.
Yeah.
And they're way more, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I was in a group today, and not to throw anyone under the bus, but we have one of our groups. It's a smaller group that we've been really working on building. 3 guests for this group. At 10:05, it was me and the 3 guests in the room, and text like, "Hey, I'm running a couple minutes late. I'm a few minutes late." Blah blah blah. But it's just like one of those things where it's like, I'm trying.
Yeah.
You guys we've talked about, I'd love to get some momentum and grow the group and be in a place where it's a little bit more sustainable and like the group is healthy, and it's like, I'm just like,
right. So
like, I am leading you to water.
So like come on. From the guest experience, it's, oh, well, I just visited this group. I'm going to visit others. And this one, all of the members of the group were late. What does that say about the group?
Definitely.
Right? Like, yeah, the frustration of, you guys, I've been trying to grow this, and here's 3 people, brand new people, and their first time, and now their first experience of your group is, this group is late.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
And so, I mean, so time, like what's on time, expectations around what's on time is really important.
I always say, if you have an interesting relationship with time, we start at 8. But we really start at 10. So if you have an interesting relationship with time, be here at 8.
That's really fun.
Time.
Well, yeah, that just goes to defining excellence, right? So anyone in any leadership position, or if I'm leading a class or whatever it might be, is how have I done as a leader defining excellence so that those that I am leading know this is what the expectations are, and this is the standard. This is where we're operating. Otherwise, yeah, if I'm mad at someone for being late, and I'm not saying that this was the case with you, but if I'm mad at someone for being late and I didn't clearly define that this is what on time means, then, well, that's on me, right?
And I think that's what makes a strong leader. And what I've heard in this entire conversation is like ownership and responsibility. You know, what part's mine? Knowing full well, embracing our humanness, like we'll never be perfect.
For sure.
Well, there's a big difference between showing up 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late, and just waltzing in, or texting or sending some form of communication. Hey, I'm running late. But if you do that at 10 o'clock and we start at 10, it's like, you kind of did it, right? I mean, I forgot where I learned this, but it's like the moment that you think that you're going to be late, that's when I want to hear from you. Because you telling me you're late at the time that we're starting,
you're already right.
It's not doing anything for anyone.
Yeah.
This is coming back down to the very first thing that we said, communication.
Yeah.
It's all
like the way that we kicked this off.
It's all communication.
It really is.
It's all communication. I mean, you mentioned the drama trial. I'm actually I wanted to go back to that because you said challenger. What did you mean by the challenger role? I think you might have it.
I was referring to, sorry, I didn't say it, the empowerment triangle.
The other side of it.
To get out of
triangle.
it. Thank you for that clarification.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I had it. I saw it in my head. Didn't verbalize it. Again, communication. From your brain to your mouth. It's a far distance.
It's wild. It's so wild. Communication. Earlier, way earlier in this conversation, Corryn, you were talking about merch, and Eric, you were like, I have questions about that. So,
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
What were you curious about with merch?
Well, I mean, just from a logistics standpoint, are you selling the merch? Do you have a store going?
No.
No. What do you?
I am selling it, yes. Do I have a store? No. I am still figuring all of that out. So in the middle, one, I have to figure out how to do the online store, and then two, I have to figure out where does that online store live. I'm currently I'm about to do a website rebrand. So we got to figure out, she needs to know, so that way when she builds the site, if the site can host the online store. So right now I'm doing it through, so it's my uncle's company. He started this years ago. So now he does all of my merch, all my stuff. I've been doing it for the past year, maybe even until last year, for all of my graduates from my trainings.
Okay.
This is the first time selling it though. So right now it's just people tell me what they want. If I have inventory, I will mail it out to them.
Okay.
And then also just keeping track of what people are ordering that I need to make orders for. So it's much more hands-on.
Yeah, you're taking requests and basically going like, I'll get it to you, and
give me a couple weeks.
Yeah.
For right now.
Old school,
yeah.
like 2 to 4 week shipping.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
What motivated you to go down this path of having more merch than just here's a T-shirt after coming to the class? Or
I think I've always liked the idea of it. Like, I really want Evolution Room, like I said, to be bigger than me. I want it to be a movement. I want it to be just something that people are a part of and that they want to be a part of. And I think with merch, there's a component of that, right? Like, I'm a part of something.
sure.
I think it really landed when the order that I just sent out today, I walked into Starbucks to grab my coffee, and a woman was like, I was wearing the Currently Evolving shirt, and she said, oh my gosh, where'd you get that shirt? Like, that shirt is so great. And I said, thanks, it's my company. And she was like, what? Like, I need to know more about it, and just started asking me questions. And she was just basically just said, I want one. And I think that is when it clicked. And I just said, like, what did you think when you saw the shirt? And she just said, I feel like the world right now needs to evolve. I feel like all of us need to evolve. And I said, yeah, I agree. Said, I'm on a mission to transform the world one person at a time, and we all got to evolve. And so to see someone light up when they saw that was like, really cool. Okay, that's cool. Mm-hmm. That's cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was really awesome. And even like a guy heard me say, oh, it's my company, because then I walked back and grabbed the coffee, and he like walked over, he's like, that's got to feel really cool to say that that's your company. I was like, yeah, it was really cool. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Like, really
that's
cool.
That was awesome.
And it's interesting because while on social media, and I really do work with business owners, that is my ideal client and avatar, there is this aspect of, I really just want to help people evolve. So do I make a personal brand? Does this evolve into a personal brand? I don't know the answer to that yet. I was talking to my best friend about it, and she's like, sis, we call each other sis, like, just let it evolve. Be on brand and let it evolve. I'm like, okay.
Just look at the shirt in the mirror.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So we'll see what unfolds. I have lots of ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just exciting.
Yeah.
It's cool to wear it. And I'm now making this, and probably all of my videos, I'll probably be in a Currently Evolving shirt.
Nice.
Just to, be on brand.
For sure.
So with your uncle, so is it like screen print? I mean, this is more curiosity.
Yeah. He doesn't I want an embroidered hat that says business is human. Also, that's mine. Anybody listening? There was somebody else. I heard someone say that, and I was like, no, that is mine. Like, I'm going to get louder with this because that is my thing. I'm going to get an embroidered hat.
Trademark that for it?
I need to get a trademark for it.
Oh, for sure. I was going to say, if it's yours, definitely like the trademark.
Yeah. I have a trademark guy that trademarked all my other stuff. But yeah, I'll probably trademark it. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So your uncle, did you go and find, like, part of, so we want some stuff mainly for us, and I've kind of gone down, maybe talk to your uncle about it if that's what he does.
Yeah.
But part of it for me is like, did you feel different shirts? Did you try stuff on?
Mm-hmm.
Is he local?
I'm still in a little bit of that phase, and yes, he's
Okay.
local. Still in a little bit of that phase because these shirts are a little bit different than the other ones that he made. So I'm doing inventory right now of
Okay.
what do we like, what do we not like. We just got hats, but they were more flat bill, and I went like a dad
Yeah.
hat. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so he's getting me like a cap, and he just orders it and it ships, and he has a bunch of just merch. He's done this for multiple companies.
He'll buy
now.
it blank.
Yeah.
And then you order through him and like, hey,
Yep.
like, so you're doing it. Okay. But you need to figure out like the drop ship type thing. Or I don't know if
That's what I haven't figured out yet.
Yeah.
And I'm very clear that I'm going to avoid making my full-time job being shipping out stuff.
Yeah.
Like it will
that's
be
not
drop
what
shipped.
you need to be spending
No.
your time doing.
I am going to make the content room that I have, half of it is going to be a merch room. So that way, if anybody in my trainings wants to buy an extra shirt
cool.
or whatever, I'm no longer renting out the podcast room. So I have a frame to hang stuff on.
Nice.
So that'll be nice. So I'll have some in-person inventory, but most likely drop shipping it. Just got to figure out what that looks like.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Exciting. Another part of the biz.
Yep. Fun stuff. And then we'll do journals and all the things. Yeah. There's always something.
I'm excited to have something for 6 Degrees.
Yeah. What's your vision?
Well, so Eric has defined the word success.
That's right.
I don't know if you have that completely memorized.
No. It's a work in progress, but basically, that's essentially traditional success is status, fame, wealth, money, right? And there's so many people that they achieve those things, and on the outside looking in, they are successful, but at the cost of family and relationships and all this stuff. So what if success is who I get to be around when I'm successful? Essentially, it's like the people that I get to celebrate and go on the trips with and do the things with and that I want to spend time with.
The people I
like
get
that.
to evolve with.
The people I get to evolve with.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So even just the simple phrase of success is shared. And I've already actually incorporated that into my email signature. I just love that as a short little phrase of success is shared.
I like that.
And so that's something that's going on a shirt
already
or a
doing
sweatshirt or something. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to wear that. Like, that's really cool. But yeah, I mean, we haven't really, for us, it's been more of like an internal thing rather than getting this, because currently evolving, that's something that I think I don't have to define it for somebody, but the word success, people would be like, what the fuck is that? Like, someone at Starbucks who doesn't know me, I don't know that they're stopping me and being like, oh, success is shared for me, right? But like for the community, I mean, first starting with just the team, and then if people in the community are like, oh, that's really cool and I want that, then it's more of like the community apparel or whatever that we can potentially make it a little bit bigger than just the team.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, you do have mystery on your side because people will be like, what is success?
Yeah.
And then you get to tell them.
And then we can talk about it.
It becomes a
Yeah.
conversation starter, right?
Yeah.
Similar to yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
really exciting.
Yeah. That's something
Yeah, it's been on the list for a while. I'm anti-swag on
Are you?
swag and merch, and I love it when it makes sense. Like
Agreed.
when it fits the brand, when it's done well. But I'm the last person to be like, I want to just put my logo on pens and
Oh, yeah.
bunch of
I'm with
stuff,
you. Yeah, I'm with
right?
you.
Like,
I have all that.
and no offense to anyone that does it,
Right.
and like if you
I know
do
what
it,
you mean, though. I
have a bunch of pens. It's like it's still visibility, and I have pens from partners and members, and it reminds me of them, so it does the thing. But I love when swag when it reinforces the brand and not just is exposure is probably the best way I can explain it. So there's something with probably the closest idea. I would do something with magnets somehow. I don't know what that looks like, but there's a magnet idea, And then I think that there's, so if you think about like connection, it starts with sparks. So there's like a lighter Zippo.
Like a Zippo lighter.
That's
type.
cool.
Something like that.
I like that. I like that a lot.
That would be the swag that I would invest in.
That's really cool.
It's similar to, okay, so for last year's holiday party, we made CDs.
Did you get one?
No, I haven't been to a friggin' holiday party yet.
Wait, I have a CD for you right now.
Oh, I have a CD.
I thought about that when we were going to see. I was like, I literally
have one.
Remember, I literally bought my ticket for next year's.
I know.
I'm like, it is in my calendar.
So that's what we gave out to everybody. Last year's theme was all music related. And so I was like, okay, can we make the takeaway gift be music related? What if we do throwback back to when we all had CDs, the nostalgia of that? We have this podcast, so let's put the people who have been on it. So you have a 2-minute clip on there, and have that be the takeaway. And then of course, like, we had the QR code that goes to the Spotify playlist, because I'm like, who the fuck has an actual CD player?
CD,
I was kind of like, you're throwing me back right now.
The CD does work though.
Did you actually burn this?
We
Yes,
did.
we did. We burned,
we actually
yes,
burned it.
we burned
Both
CDs.
work. QR code and the CD
Yeah,
work.
if you have a CD player, it will work.
This is really awesome.
But it's like, that's the type of things that for us, we think through. That's the on-brand thing that we can hand out that makes sense for the event and the theme and how it relates to 6 Degrees. And so that for us is like, oh yeah, no, like, that's the item. That's the thing.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
You two are really good at that.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree.
It's definitely a superpower of yours.
Yeah, it's our favorite. It's one of our. It's just that's when we get to be the most creative.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So our creativity gets poured into those types of things. And but yeah, that I'm really proud of how that whole thing
cool.
like just turned out. And
Also the parental advisory. Like, I know. I'm like, is this an Eminem CD? Like,
there's plenty of cursing that happens on this podcast, so we felt the need. But
is so great.
Even like an old school CD, the inside cover of that comes out and folds out, and it describes some of the things that happened during the event itself, right? So it has the winners to last year's awards that we gave out. It has a little bit about the philanthropy that we partnered with for it. So it was like, we made it as real as we could to an actual CD that I would buy back when CDs were a thing that we bought.
And I would be so interested.
Really cool.
I would be so interested of how many people actually opened
it and
like
saw it
and noticed all of that. But like I said, I'm very, very like I hadn't looked at one of those in a while. I was like, this turned out really fucking good.
This is really good. That is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So our
about
like
swag that makes sense.
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Merch that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Those are the things that I get really excited, and that's the type of, like, I guess, marketing that I'm like, ooh, that worked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for you with the currently evolving just kind of movement, what's next? What's the next evolution?
So for me personally, it's personal branding, just sharing more on social media, being more vulnerable and transparent and sharing the journey. And I don't even like the term creating content, like just documenting what's going on. I realized the other day, I mean, I've had this realization multiple times. I have a tendency to be an overthinker. So what would happen if I just opened up the camera and talked about the things that I was thinking about?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much what creating content is. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Having a podcast, you're just talking about the things that you're thinking about.
Yeah.
So
prior to that, you were like writing like scripts and prompts or
more of like blank page. What am I going to talk about?
Sure.
And then it's like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think being in the space of just allowing, I thought about this a little while ago. I feel like self-expression is one of the most empowering things that we can do, whether it's on camera or a podcast or with a partner or just with yourself. Just self-expression is extremely, extremely powerful and automatically puts you in a space of empowerment. So being in a space where you can be self-expressed and then sharing that with the world, I mean, is very vulnerable and also really exciting at the same time, because it opens up the door for a lot of people who might be going through the same thing, or maybe it's inspiring, or maybe it's not, and they don't want to follow you, which is also fine too.
Sure.
So that's what I'm really leaning into, is the personal branding side of things, and what do I have to say, and how can I share my perspective of the world and kind of like take up this little niche of what I want to be known for and be more vocal about it. And that kind of goes into thought leadership. So I'm doing some research on thought leadership and building up practice, and just.
Would you say you've defined the things that you want to be known for? Is that bulleted clear of like the types of things that you're trying to reinforce at this, or is that it's an ongoing, it's evolving?
I think it's ongoing. I did get pretty clear that like business is human is what I do want to be known for.
Sure.
Like bringing the humanness, especially with AI and everything that's going on. I truly believe that the differentiator is going to be the people who can be the most human and embrace the humanness. And I don't think that we were designed to work the way that we are working. I feel like AI is going to take off a lot of tasks and menial stuff that we've been doing, and will give us an opportunity to step more into creativity, to step more into thought leadership, to really be more intentional with how we create in the work that we put out in the world.
Well, I mean, just were we designed to work, period?
Yeah, right.
Right? You know what I mean? It's like the 40-hour work week is a made-up thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and I even tell people, I was like, I feel like for the longest time, we've been the robots, just doing the task, like doing the thing. I don't know, we're not meant to be doing that. We are creative beings. And a lot of us, I started the artist way and I didn't finish it. I think a lot of us are creatively blocked. And when we start to open that up, it creates a lot of not only empowerment for ourselves, but it can create a lot of empowerment for the world.
Mm-hmm.
I've got another book. Do you like Seth Godin at all?
So I went down a Seth Godin rabbit hole years ago.
Okay.
I do like him, yes,
Okay.
but I haven't been.
One of his books, I want to say, is The Icarus Deception. It's a big, bright green book.
Oh.
But he talks about everything, all professional work, all work, if I treat it as art, like the art of accounting. Because there's an art to it and come from an artistic lens. It's a really interesting perspective. And it's probably similar to what you're talking about from a creativity standpoint.
I like that.
It's been a minute since I read it, but it's a good, different kind of take.
One of my very first visions when I made a business plan was like, imagine a world in which all of us were inspired by the work that we were putting out in the world. That's a very different world.
I literally asked this question today in the group that I was in. Is like, what percentage of people are happy about whatever they're doing, like for work? Because I think the big thing with AI and the big thing that's coming, when it comes, how it happens, all this, like there's a bunch of question marks. But at some point, the way that we work is going to be completely turned upside down. And so many people have purpose tied into work, right? And then there's this example of there's all these people that have been retiring for the last 20, 30 years. Well, and we've all heard the stories of, yeah, I did it for like a year, played a bunch of golf, and I just couldn't. I needed to figure something else out. And what we were talking about today is what are the hobbies that you're interested in, and how do you, it's so kind of back to the martial arts. When's the last time you were a white belt in something and you felt dumb because you don't even know what you don't know? When did you try something new? And it's scary, it's uncomfortable, but that's when we're the most human, and like we feel the most alive. And there's such a, like, we're gonna need to go do that.
Yeah.
The world's it's gonna force us, and it'll be really interesting how people find purpose. I think there'll still be a way to do it through work. It's just gonna be drastically different, would be my bet.
Something that just clicked for me back to when you said the difference between being the expert and being an expert. And so flipping, so you said purpose being tied to work instead of having work being tied to purpose, right? Starting with purpose instead of starting with work. So if I start with purpose, then the work that I do, if it feeds the purpose, then the work doesn't even feel like work. Versus I have this work, I have this job, I have this thing, and I have to do whatever I possibly can to find purpose in that, to continue doing that, and it ends up defining me more versus. And so that's just, it just clicked for me the way that you said that. And so I think for people and entrepreneurs and people who, like, I mean, I feel like the three of us are, I think, examples of people who have said, this is my purpose, and then the work that we're doing is tied to that versus the other way around. And so many times we have this conversation that so much of the things that we do in 6 Degrees are things that Eric and I love to do. They're things that motivate us, that energize us. We are doing the type of events and things, the creative, the CD, all of those. Creating that CD took so much time, energy, and effort, and it was so fucking cool. It doesn't feel like work because it's tied to my purpose.
It was an absurd amount of time.
It was fun. No, it was wild, and we didn't
useful.
even do all of it because Valentina, if we didn't have her, I mean, she was the one who clipped that, so she freaking produced that thing. It was so good. It was so cool. But
awesome.
but creating those things, the baseball cards, right? That one took the panini stick. I mean, all these things that we do that we're like, why the fuck?
I know why no one else does it, because it's fucking.
But because
part of your purpose.
It feeds our purpose,
Yeah.
it's like, no, but this is exciting to me. This is energizing to me. It can drive me crazy, but it's so thrilling to do it because it goes to purpose versus the other way. So that's just
Maybe
a realization for me.
Maybe that's the paradigm shift that will happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's already happening, probably.
What you're describing is literally, so Simon Sinek, start with why, and he's been talking about that for
100%.
Right.
It's the same. It's that for sure.
And going back to kind of what we were talking about earlier, does everyone want to know their why?
Right.
Does
No,
everyone
it's
want to
work.
dig in?
Do I want to go?
It is.
Do I want to roll up my sleeves and get muddy and dirty? And what if I don't like?
It's so worth it, though.
It is.
Even if it's scary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if I just think of, all of this stuff that stopped me, like shame, perfectionism, all the things, embarrassment. But it's like, what's on the other side of that is so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, it's what's the saying about, like, everything you want is on the other side of hard.
Yeah.
Right. It's.
Or the thing you're resisting.
Yeah, or the thing you're resisting. What percentage? So what? I'm just curious if you had to put a percentage on, like, the number of people that. So you said what was the why of a world filled where people are inspired to do what?
Oh yeah, imagine a world in which people were inspired by the work that they put out in the world.
What percentage of people are currently inspired by the work that they put out? If you had to put a percentage on it, do you think it's low?
Yeah, I was gonna say like
It's low.
2-3%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's low. I'd say like less than 5.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people.
Right.
There's
That's
a lot
the
of
thing
people.
is, like, there's a
There's
lot
a lot
of
of people in the
people.
world.
Even if I go through and I think about all of the people that I know of that are definitely inspired by the work that they're doing, I mean, I can think of so many more people that are not.
Well, so probably the more interesting question then is, so the 1%, how does the 1% overlap with that?
Yeah, that's a good
Would be
question.
a really, because it's less.
I think I saw, and please, if somebody knows these numbers, please correct me. These are not accurate. This is what I remember, and it is probably wrong. It said something about like 1% of people are content creators, and I think that was still like 2 billion people or something. I'm like, that's still a fuck ton of people. That's a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. So many people.
But also, are those people passionate? I have no idea. Or
Sure.
inspired by the work that they're doing? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Some are, some aren't.
Yeah, it's gonna be we're in a very, I feel like every era is a very interesting time. And even the other day, I just texted my friend, I had seen an ad for a woman that was teaching people how to create a content career. I was like, interesting. Like, we're in an era where creating content is a career.
Uh-huh. Oh, I
It just is
saw...
fascinating to me.
There was someone on LinkedIn. I think Rudy commented on it, and so that's why it came into my feed. What their company does is helps brands find the right content creators to send their like PR shit to. So it helps them identify. So here's all these content creators, and I have a company that is diapers, and that company would help me identify all of the content creators that just announced that they're pregnant, something to that effect, right? Like,
wow.
So it's like, oh, for you, all of these content creators just announced they're pregnant. This is the person to send your baby shit to, right? And like so that they can open it and the whole PR thing. And I was like, wow. So like, yeah, that's somebody's company.
I wonder if this is what it was like when ads came out,
right?
Or commercials. You know what I mean? Like,
What do you mean?
So what if content creators just replace commercials?
Yeah.
We don't need the commercial. We're watching someone who has the Tide, has the diapers. We don't need the actor or actress.
Well, it's already become more ingrained and integrated into the day-to-day, right? And the way that even in some of the content, it's just, yeah, people have it in the background, or right, like it's
it all just changes with what people are consuming, right? So there's less ads now. So here's a huge change. I mean, it's crazy how many people are leaning into storytelling, and these brands are finding ways to tell like short stories and hiring actors. But even there's so much product placement within shows now. It's just all changed into these are the things that we're consuming. Whereas before, the people who were watching TV had to sit through ads. There was no fast forward. There was no subscription. There was no whatever.
Do you remember when you could pause and rewind?
Oh wow. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
TiVo.
Record?
Yes. It's like, wow. What I don't have to put in my VC, like the video, the tape, and record it on that, and a whole, so wild.
I always wonder what's next. Do you know about the Yap Challenge? Are you familiar with the Yap Challenge at all?
Yap Y-A-P?
Challenge. Yeah.
I don't think so.
No.
Jessie, I don't know her last name, Jessie something, was on camera for 6 months yapping. That was her whole thing. And then she created a community and started the Yap Challenge. Her first launch was, I think, 1.5, and her second launch was just 4 mil. And so this Yap Challenge is getting really popular.
What do you mean she was just yapping?
Yeah.
So she was talking on camera. She was going through a career confusion. She was in career confusion. I think that's what she talked about. But then as she was talking about what she was talking about, she also transitioned into, well, I'm getting really good at this, and now I'm teaching people how to yap. And then she started a course. And then her first course was like 1.5 mil.
What?
And then the second one she just launched was like 4 mil.
Is yapping a thing, or did she create yapping?
It's talking into the camera. So now it's its own. Now it's its own term. Like now it's a thing. And so if you look up Yap Challenge, you will see her, and you also see a bunch of people that are doing the Yap Challenge.
So to me, that's chasing trends, and there's always going to be something new, better, shinier. For me, I think, and this is more of a Seth Godin thing, is just like, what do I do every single day? He has a blog. I've literally read his blog for 10 years. He posts every single day. It comes at like 3 a.m. But it's like marketing is more about consistency. It's finding the lane, finding the truth, finding the thing that feels authentic, the voice that you've talked about. Christina, you and I have touched on it. Like, how do we figure that out for you a little bit more? And then finding the medium that supports the voice, and then just doing it consistently, showing up consistently. And then it becomes, the core, like the things that I want to resonate with people. All it is how do I say the same 5 or 6 things 10,000 different ways?
That's the challenge.
That's it.
Yeah.
So if business is human, how do I just say business is human, and how do I show business is human, and how do I be business is human consistently on whatever platforms over
different
time.
ways. Yeah.
Every day,
over time.
like every day, right? Like, but that's like it's like because there's always going to be a yap thing. There's always going to be
Always.
stuff, but
I just wonder where it's all going to go. Like, what is it going to turn like reality TV?
that's. I mean,
Like,
there's already
yeah,
I
there's.
mean, I think
that's
we're
already a thing.
there. Well, I mean, Little Dicky, Benny Blanco, and I don't know the female who's on that podcast. I mean, they're calling it a podcast, and it's not even a podcast. There's cameras all up in their home, and they record it all, and they're in there. I mean, they're just hanging out with their guests for hours and hours, and it's just whatever happens in the space and however they're hanging out and whatever they're talking about, and then they just edit it down to whatever their platform or their brand or whatever does.
Where it's going to go is a really interesting question, because mix in AI and like how much content is already being created. I feel like AI slop has scaled down a little bit, but where does it all go? It's attention. It's attention and time is. And 10 years ago, 15 years ago, there were no phones. So.
Right. Off topic. Seth Godin, Purple Elephant?
Purple cow.
Purple cow. I was close. Purple cow. Well, remind me, what was the purple cow? What does that mean? If
I
you remember.
actually didn't read that one.
It was something about like a methodology or philosophy of his.
I want to say it was tied to doing things that stand out. There's so much of my background is marketing, my degree is marketing. There's so much of my philosophy in the way that we approach. And so one of his sayings is, who's it for? What's it for? Every single thing that we do, who's it for and what's it for? That's where we're starting from building anything. He's got so many little like sayings like that. So some of my favorites are, who's it for? What's it for? People like us do things like this, right? Which is culture.
I like that.
Culture and community. And then my favorite definition of marketing is from him. All marketing is creating the conditions for word of mouth to spread.
I like that.
And so part of the content creation piece or the documentation piece that you're working on is, how do you put things out that people want to share? There's certain things that are going to resonate, and then there's, so like his whole blog, like, again, just, it's literally, sometimes it's like a sentence, and sometimes it's, but it gets shared because it's an interesting idea.
Oh, well, to put a nice little bow on the conversation, I love using the word evolve, and then just like I used it in, I don't know if you saw it, Eric, I had a post and I just like, I said it and then I just tagged Corryn.
Yeah.
Wink face. Anytime I use the word evolve. What's an action step that this conversation has now motivated or inspired each of us to do?
Two very specific ones. Trademark business is human. And get the hat. In all seriousness, though, what's coming up is be louder.
Yeah.
Be louder in your truth and sharing that and vocalizing that. And for me, that can look like social media. It can look like in a training, in a classroom. It can look a lot of different ways. But being louder and getting it out into the world.
So I've already been making more decisions to lean into social media and so I mentioned like you and what you've been doing lately, Corryn, has been really inspiring to see, and then following a couple people like Low Silver and like people that I'm like, okay, like I think I have found this space as finally being, I have a platform for my voice, and so this conversation of you talking about just really finding more of you and your own voice and leaning into that. And I think that phrasing of it helps me even develop more of what I have already started working on, to be more present, to have this online. And I like the word documentation. That is really, really great.
It feels easier, right?
It also feels less, I don't know, this like content creation piece is like, oh, okay, content. I don't know why that gives me.
Influencer?
Yeah, like exactly, influencer. So I love that you called it documentation. And so leaning into, okay, great. Like, what are more ways to pull my voice out of me and get it documented and shared? So,
great.
Yeah.
But I think
I'm excited to see it.
I think I love the documentation, because I think it's just capturing what's happening rather than trying to artificially create something.
Right.
Right. I mean, I talked about that with you
Yeah.
yesterday on something you did, and I'm just like, well, why not just make it real? instead of doing some things.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
The thing that I guess I'm sitting with, so just the market. So I love marketing, and I'm a little bit inspired and motivated. I think I'm hiding. For me, marketing for 6 Degrees has been more about focusing on building the experiences rather than promotion, right? And so almost 10 years ago, I had a digital marketing agency, and I burned out from it. And I've been very, very hesitant, and I think I'm using not being ready to pour gasoline on things, right? Like the last couple of years, similar to you, Corryn, is like once the toothpaste is out of the thing, right? Can't put it back.
Mm-hmm.
And more with Christina, with you and your voice, and I think it's the action step for me is like, no, like we need to turn it up. We need to dial it up a little, and not a little, but a lot, and fucking go all in. And
Pour that gasoline, baby.
Pour the gasoline.
Yeah. Let's fucking
it,
go.
Burn it down. Because I know how to do it. It's just with social media specifically is like to do it and to do it right and to do it well in my head it's a lot of work. And I've been not wanting to because the other side of it is, and this is a Seth Godin thing, is it a game that I want to play and choose? I don't have to play the social media game. There are other ways to do it. Social media is it feels great, and it can work, and it's positive. And at the same time, I don't own that audience. So if LinkedIn, if Instagram, if Facebook, where all this is going, if Google just says we're going to buy them all and we're going to shut them all down so that Google's the only one, then I just put a lot of time, energy, effort into something. Because the thing that I think gets missed around the miss with social media is not putting it somewhere that's actually permanent.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Instagram is a crazy thing to me that if I see something, I can't go find it easily. And that's such an interesting thing for me.
Yeah.
So part of to me the opportunity with some of the things, some of the ideas is like, so like the version of like taking something and pinning it on your Instagram, how do I take that content and like put it on my website or put it somewhere where it drives traffic? Because it's like, it's one thing to create the machine and play on the platform, but does it drive, where does it go and live forever if it's really, really good? So you've got my brain.
That's a really good point. As you were sharing, I was just thinking about my own distinction around social media. I feel like I have moved from, because social media has been more of a convincer strategy for me, of somebody sees me speaking at a networking event and they follow you on social media. Like it's just a convincer strategy or a top of mind strategy into, okay, how can I actually reach people? Mm-hmm. That's been a definite distinction that I've made.
Yep.
And I think I'm definitely still in it.
Yeah.
And it feels a little weird. But it does. Like it, and cringe and all the things, as is doing something new.
It's who's it for and what's it for?
Yeah.
Every piece of every piece of content. What's it for? Who's it for? What's it for?
I like that.
And then where does it go to live forever is the thing that most people don't, right? Like.
Yeah, it's a great point.
It needs to be on so again, if I make the same thing 10,000 different ways, what's the version that lives forever on the website that people actually see?
Yay, marketing. Awesome. Well, thank you for coming back. Too.
Yes, thank you for having me.
That was really fun.
That was really great.
In this episode, we talked a lot about marketing, and there's been a lot of motivation for you to turn up the volume on your brand, your voice, your activity. So I guess my question would be related to that, like what the motivation for you? I want to be louder on LinkedIn. I want to be more active on LinkedIn. I want to post more. Like why?
There's multiple reasons. I think we have spent, and you sent me something literally that I just watched today that reinforces some of this. We've spent the last 4.5 years perfecting, but I mean, obviously there's always room for improvement. The experiences that people have in our space is fucking phenomenal. And so if there's ever a time to now pour gasoline on the fire and start to actually promote the things that we're doing and get people's attention to see this is what 6 Degrees is doing, I think it's now, because I know that whenever someone comes to something, they're going to be wowed by it, and they're going to feel it's going to feel different. It's going to feel curated. They're going to come into the space and go, whoa, like that, I have not gone to something like that before, right? And so we did the work, all of the work on the structure of the growth groups, the flow and the details of the SAVOR dinners, the big experiences, making them still have this component to them that brings intimacy and connection, even in a room of 100 people. We have the creativity really dialed in on a lot of, I mean, for so many things that we've done. And so we know that already. So now what's another thing to work on and try and master and get good at, and then also that leads to more people knowing about 6 Degrees and what we're about. That's one big part of it. There is a selfish part of it. There is a curiosity that I have of being a bigger voice myself as a human being. I've mentioned this on the episode, and I've mentioned it to you. There's other platforms like Instagram and TikTok that I've seen. So there's the quote unquote influencer. And I've seen where most of that is coming from this, I guess, creative space because of the nature of what those platforms are even about. And I never resonated with having a voice on those platforms. Whereas now I feel like the growth that I have experienced in the last 5 years, everything that I have learned, I think that I have a voice to be able to share all of that. Those are the camps right now that I guess I was going to say selfishly this, but it's all selfish because all of it is for a selfish reason, right? Whether it's the first thing that I said where I have things to share to more get visibility on 6 Degrees. So selfishly that helps us, hopefully helps us grow and grow the membership and eventually grow to other cities and the things that we have in our goals. And then the other one's obviously selfish as well, of feeling that this is the space to bring my voice out, bring my inside out and actually use it. I feel really good about it being about business and being about the experience of being an entrepreneur, the experience of even the Alex Hermosi clip that I watched today that you sent me as well, of documenting and capturing these moments, even on the worst days. To his was more about internal reflection and using that as fuel to not get to that point again. And at the same time, there's a story there. And what entrepreneur that we have talked to doesn't have a story, right? And so sharing mine, I think, can resonate with people. And I'm feeling confident enough now to be able to do that.
I mean, a big thing with Corryn was the storytelling piece, right? And stories are, I think, both her work of like, what's the story that I'm telling myself? Mm-hmm. And so much of the way that most of us unconsciously move throughout the world is like, I'm just telling myself the wrong story or an old story or an outdated story. And then the marketing piece of how do I communicate what you just said about like entrepreneurs will share a version of the story that resonates, or business, the marketing side that people pulls at heartstrings that people can relate to. If I am able to process what happened and how I got here, and that was why I sent you the documenting part.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, which part of your story do you feel like is, as someone that's newer to the business world in the last 5 years, like what is it about your story? Like, what are the things that you're excited to share? What are the types? Is it, I just learned this new thing and it worked? Is it, this was really fucking hard and we made it? Is it, we fell on our face today?
I mean, it's all of the above. I think the thing that I could share that would resonate with a good chunk of people is I didn't go study anything about business. I never knew what owning a business entailed. This wasn't even something that I imagined for myself ever growing up or anything like that. And now here I am, and I've learned so much. And so one of the many stories, one part of my story, I guess, is, yeah, I had a theater degree. I'm a creative. I have a mindset and a skill set specific to the actual thing that we're doing. But as far as being a business owner, anyone can do that. And here's an example. I'm an example of that.
Sure.
You want to start a business? Look at me. I didn't fucking know a damn thing. I literally, I mean, there are so many things. I'm like, what is that? I don't even, what do you mean? What is that? I don't know what that is. Because I wasn't taught any of those things. Mm-hmm. To this day, I'm like, why? When we had to send in our business to a local newspaper because if it wasn't documented in a public way, it doesn't exist. I'm like, what? The fuck does that mean? And like, I'm not even describing it well because first of all, this was however many years ago, but still something like that where
it's just a stupid, outdated.
But something like that where it's like, I'm sorry, but what? Like, how would I ever know that? How would I ever? And there's people who have gone and studied and gone to business school and
they don't tell you that in business school.
No, I know. I understand. I'm using a really obscure example of something that just happens. I'm learning all of this shit as I'm going and building this thing with you. And I mean, could I have done it all on my own? I absolutely can. Or I could have, especially now looking back at the journey of it all. And so to help maybe somebody have the confidence to quit their corporate job and just go do the fucking thing that they're passionate about, because as difficult as it's been more fulfilling than working for somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, while you're saying that, I think that part of it gets lost for me. And maybe not justifies, but it's just like if I keep that in mind, it's like it would be easier to say, no, this is where we're at and we're on time, we're on schedule, rather than thinking things are going to happen faster.
Rather than feeling behind, not like this we're not where we want to be mentality, and it's, well, we're here and now, and this is where
yeah, well, just understanding or just holding that a lot of this is your first experience of any of it, and actually probably appreciating how quick you learn things, how fast you pick stuff up, how your ability to adapt, there's all of these things that you're amazing at that just haven't translated to the ultimate thing of your role being sales and growth and like those things. And
thank you.
So you're welcome. So I and that's where when I get frustrated, when I get down, it needs to just be, yeah, but Christina's going to figure it out. Not to save us.
Right.
Like you're going to figure it out really fast. If it's not working, you're going to do something different. You're going to adapt. You're going to make a change.
Yeah.
And until you figure it out. And
yeah.
It's just the learning, the cycle for that. We just maybe not focused on the right, quote unquote, right things.
Yeah. I'm going to figure it out and I'm not going to give up. That's the thing. So this was one of the two things that I wrote down as far as a topic, and it was more coming from what I listened to this morning. And a lot of the people that obviously get interviewed on Armchair are celebrities, and that mostly they're in the entertainment industry. Mm-hmm. And the number one most common theme for the people who made it is that they didn't give up. They just didn't give up. I mean, they kept going regardless of the no's and the whatever. It doesn't matter. It was just they kept going. And I think that's another part of the story in entrepreneurship, right? There's so many times in these last 5 years we could have given up. We could have said, you know what, throw in the towel. This clearly is the business model. Nope, not going anywhere. But to your point of what you just said, and I really thank you and appreciate you for naming, is no, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to try something else. I don't know. That was weird. This one was working. And I'm just going to keep trying. And I'm going to try 10 things before the person who's in their mind perfecting the thing before trying ever has even done something, right? So like I'm figuring it out.
Yeah, I mean that's your superpower being used. This podcast, right? When I joke and say Christina's shoot, ready, aim. Mm-hmm. When it's used as not mapping everything out, what am I going to say, how to say it, who am I overthinking, and having the analysis paralysis of just I don't know what to do. You go out and get at bats and take reps and fail forward and faster. That when your superpower is used at that towards the things that we need it to, it moves the needle. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's an interesting. And I mean, so what did you say? It's I'm gonna figure it out and I'm not gonna give up.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure it out. There's no quitting. I'm gonna figure this out.
And so I just think back to what I said in this episode, and apparently you made a comment of like, I think you said that, or not. I think you definitely said the thing in my tape is it's not good enough. It's all my fault. And if Christina's loop is I'm gonna figure it out and I'm not gonna quit. I'm jealous as someone that suffers with depression and knows that that's the loop. And
I mean, and don't get me wrong, probably one of the bigger things that I battle is when I do get a no, I don't know what I have a hard time working through that part of it. So in sales, well, buckle up, bitch. But I think the part of me that is the I'm going to figure it out part in sales is so much more of what's been showing up in these last few months of pushing us to have these conversations and replaying some of the tape of, all right, I talked to this person and this is what they said. And what was the real underlying rejection and working, and like, how do I get sharper on my questions? And I think maybe the part of I'm going to figure it out, and sales has been the part that's been certainly more on my plate over these last few years of just going out and reaching new people. So it's always been part of it. And there's been so much more that I've also been trying to learn at the same time. Mm-hmm. There's everything that we've been doing with events. There's the business itself, and there's the groups, and so the more that the other parts of the business have gotten ironed out, now I'm like, okay, now I, not necessarily fully, but I can focus more attention on the actual sales piece and be, okay, how do I get better at these conversations? How do I get better at asking questions, right? That maybe that's just like right now where I feel like I'm at, and I'm focusing so much more time.
Yeah. It feels that way. It feels just the way that you're analyzing when we have conversations, and you're like, well, I said this, and playing back the tape to try to talk through like why did certain things go certain ways, and right, trying to understand the why behind some of that is definitely, I mean, in the last 6 months for sure, and part of, and that's, I think, and that's part of what I mean with what I said in the beginning around not really considering that you're learning all of these other things for the first time. And right, like I've done events, and I'm like I was like, I know,
here's the person who knows all of the things about events, and then you're just like, here you go, new person, you take it.
And so, yeah, maybe my fault for not setting us up for as to be as successful with some of this. And it is what it is. Part of me, not to justify or defend it, it was just with the events is like, I know if I'm doing events, it's going to be last minute. It's going to stress all of us out.
Yeah.
And I know you're way more proactive. So, but I'm hearing it as, oh, interesting. Again, more grace that maybe we could have, but interesting to think about it through the lens of you're learning all of this, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
And you've absorbed it like a sponge, and now we finally have focus on the thing that we've needed to focus on, which is sales. And so how do we get everything else out of the way so that you can continue to keep ratcheting up, getting better at sales is what I'm sitting with, is just like, let's get everything else off your fucking plate. Even when we brought in team members and how you've been more delegating, it's been easier to delegate, because sales was always like this pull of like, well, this is what we need. But I just come from, I just like, the sales are going to come. I'm going to trust it. I trust you. I believe in you. I want to focus on the experience and making sure that when someone says yes to the sales, the most important thing to me is that it lives up to the thing.
Right. And I think these last few years, what I mentioned earlier of, we worked so damn hard these last 4 years, to your point of the experience piece, that now, better than ever before, I feel the most prepared to sell the destination because of everything that we've done with the experience and with everything that we've done now, right? So now it's just a matter of perfecting or working on and getting better, like you said, ratcheting up on combating the rejections piece, and really getting to the root of what is the core rejection, what is the truth of what this person in front of me is fearing, and being able to actually give the example of, this is how we solve that problem.
Well, and countering or battling the preconceived notion of whatever someone thinks of if they hear networking.
That's just one of the other objections, right? It's one of the objections.
Well, just from what we've talked about more recently, is like, so many people, they're thinking no already because of what it is in their experience.
Right. That's one of the rejections is, I've had a bad experience in the past and I don't want to get burned again. I've invested before. I've done this before. I've done this dance and it sucked, and I'm not doing that again. It's been interesting, even in the past 2.5 months, there was this huge motivation that came, energy just skyrocketed in May from the STFC event, and it's just so much positivity, and then took a really big dip. And there hasn't even necessarily been a crazy amount of new sales or anything this month. And yet this past week-ish and a half, we've had more of this type of conversation with rolling back tape and figuring it out, that I am the last, I don't know, 3-4 people that I have met and had a conversation with, I am feeling it right now. I'm like, ooh, I'm getting better. I'm feeling it. I'm asking different questions and things that are getting me closer and closer and closer to figuring this shit out. And it's almost so new as far as practicing it, that I'm about to just fucking take off. Like I
believe I can feel that. I think there's more confidence. So that's what's different is with what we were talking about with Corryn and what she experienced. And I think we're 6 months behind her.
I think so too. No, 100%.
Around just in 6 months we're gonna be like same, like by the end of this year. Because I feel the same way, that at this point you just need reps.
I do.
You just need, and part of this would be more the reps tied to the no's. You've said like the no thing right now, and part of that is maybe that is motivating you. Like, well, I don't like this feeling, so I want to be different. But like cold calling or not, the one thing that cold calling will do is get rid of no's.
Yeah,
like the feeling of rejection. If you just spent one day making 100 phone calls, whatever that is would be gone in a second.
Yeah, the no piece is, again, I said this on the episode with Corryn, is just tying too much to the result of things and getting really attached to, I'm sitting down in front of this person who I think is so fucking amazing. And I'm like, I want to surround myself with these inspiring people. And there's the disappointment part of, damn it, I didn't get this person. And I just know that their mind is going to be blown from the experience, but then they're going to connect in ways that they haven't been able to uncover in other spaces, because I think we just allow for this depth to happen. And anyway, I just said that's the piece, the attachment piece is what I need to work on the most. And just taking the opportunity in the conversation, even if the end result is the no, to roll back tape more from a learning perspective rather than like a fuck, how do I win them back or whatever. And certain people are going to come back around anyway, and that's fine. But I'm ready for this shit.
Let's go.
Let's go. Shake on it.
Put her there, bub.
Put her there, bub.
If you say you're ready, let's go.